BBD is the best book I ever read. The story in it is just brilliant. He's the next upcoming artist.
Book 420 years before the meeting of Carl, Matthew, Charles, and Bbpd. Bbpd was a janitor rising in the gang world. Among him were Michael, a college football prodigy, Swanston a nerd, and Cordell, an average worker. The three college teens had no idea who Bbpd was. Bbpd was an unknown gangster in Greenwood, Indiana. Bbpd was working one day in the Tuscan Elementary School. School was out and Bbpd was taking his normal routes, making sure everyone had left. Bbpd came across a student hiding in Brunwick's office. Bbpd found out it wasn't a student but another gang member. The gangster held a gun at Bbpd's head. Bbpd ran out the office and hid at the end of the hallway with his gun out. The gangster turns the corner and Bbpd fires and kills the gangster. Bbpd, thinking there might be more gangsters, run out of the school. Bbpd sat down in his apartment telling his friends what he had done. Bbpd's fellow gangsters were amazed by Bbpd's story. They honored Bbpd's kill. Bbpd's was a part of the Kane gang. They are not afraid to kill anyone who messes with them. Kane's leader FFPD told Bbpd he was impressed with the kill. FFPD started paying respect to Bbpd, putting him in several gang fights. Bbpd was a stellar fighter and killer. Bbpd grew in the ranks of the gang, becoming very respected. Kane struck fear in all of Indiana's people, including the police. Michael, Swanston, and Cordell were at Swanston's trailer. Michael noticed on the news a $1 million bounty on Bbpd, Cordell, and Swanston. Then the trailer started to move down the road, being carried by the truck they had heard. Michael tried to escape the trailer, but the doors were trapped in by wood. Swanston gave everyone handguns from his room. The truck drove for 30 minutes down to a warehouse. The three realized it was FFPD's warehouse. The guards opened the door and walked into the trailer. It looked empty, so the guards started to walk through the trailer. The guards go to bedroom and the three pop up from under the bed and open fire on the guards, killing them. Cordell, taking lead, ran out of the trailer with the others behind him. They were greeted by guards alerted by the shots firing at them. Cordell got shot in the arm and dropped his gun. Swanston and Michael fought off the guards while the injured Cordell got inside the truck and fired up the engine. The other two jumped in passenger. They started driving off, bullets ricocheting off the armored truck. The bullets stopped and they were driving down the road. Cordell is driving to the hospital when Swanston sees Bbpd in an armored car behind them. Bbpd fires at Swanston's head and hits his ear. Michael went to the back of the armored truck and opened the back. Bbpd's guard in passenger shot at Michael and Michael fired back and shot him in the head. Bbpd, scared of being shot, reversed and drove back to FFPD's warehouse. Michael closed the back of the truck and went back to passenger, telling them Bbpd was gone. The three drove to the hospital and checked in Cordell. Cordell's injury was not serious and only would be in hospital for a few days. In the meantime, Michael and Swanston were at Michael's mansion, talking about what had happened. Swanston was now homeless and staying at Michael's mansion. Swanston was getting irate because he hadn't played at Kid City for a while. Swanston asked Michael to go with him to play basketball. Michael agreed and they drove Michael's Bugatti to Kid City. While there, Swanston noticed a strange man walk in. Swanston alerted Michael of the strange man and Michael laughed it off. The two were shooting basketballs when masked men walked into the gym holding guns to them. They ran to exit right by them and there waiting was one guard. The guard held a gun in Swanston's face and Michael gave the guard a 1-2 Mayweather, knocking him out cold. Swanston picked up the guard's rifle and followed Michael running out of the building. They ran to Michael's car but the car had been destroyed. Surrounding them were 30 guards with rifles. The two men in the middle of the circle took their mask off. It was Bbpd and FFPD. FFPD came to the passenger door and busted the window out, glass-cutting Swanston. FFPD saw Swanston's gun and shot Swanston in the chest and took his gun. FFPD started walking to Michael's side of the car, but SWAT swarmed the parking lot. The guards shot and the SWAT shot back. Both sides were dying fast, but the SWAT was too much for FFPD, Bbpd, and the guards, so they retreated to their giant armored truck and drove away. The medics got Swanston in an ambulance and he was rushed to the same hospital Cordell is at. 2 weeks later and the three are back together. The three were chilling at Michael's mansion. They were talking about what had just happened at Kid City. Swanston was crying, scared his mom would find out sometimes. Even puking, Michael told Swanston to stop crying and that everything was going to be alright. Michael decided to go to a party with Cordell and Jason, Michael's friend. Michael and Jason were smoking outside with Jason's best friend Twain. Michael went in to get Cordell. Jason and Twain got naked for the feeling. Twain took a giant hit and couldn't see anything, smoke covering his sight. The smoke cleared and Jason was naked peeing on the concrete. Bbpd turned the corner with a gun and shot Jason in the head, killing him. Bbpd chases Twain into the woods, Twain running away with diarrhea running down his cheeks. Bbpd shot Twain in the back, Twain falling unconscious. Twain woke up on Bbpd's operating table, diarrhea covering the table. Bbpd walked over to Twain and stuck a knife in his brain. Bbpd couldn't take the smell anymore. FFPD sits in his throne made of jewels only rich PDs ever will have. FFPD tells his servants to get him a glass of wine. The servants quickly get up and move quickly to get the wine FFPD desires. FFPD is drinking his wine when he hears police break into the warehouse. Gunshots started ringing out. FFPD started running into cover. Cops were swarming the warehouse and FFPD's guards were dying fast. A cop ambushed FFPD and was right behind him. FFPD turned around to shoot the cop, but the cop was too fast and shot him. FFPD was laying down in a pool of his own blood. The officer held his gun to FFPD. A bullet went through the officer's head from a shot from Bbpd. FFPD immediately started yelling at Bbpd to get him to safety and his doctors in the warehouse. Bbpd picked up FFPD and started running to the doctor, shooting officers on the way. Bbpd set down FFPD on an operating table. FFPD started yelling at Bbpd that none of this would have happened if he would have shot him sooner. Bbpd, speechless, left the room to go fight for FFPD's warehouse. Bbpd felt mad that FFPD did not reward his kill. All Bbpd wanted to do was to be very powerful. Bbpd was able to keep back the guards and keep FFPD's warehouse safe. Cordell was talking to Michael at his house. Cordell said that he was going to go alone to FFPD's warehouse and try to sort everything out. Michael told Cordell he was crazy. Cordell said he was going to go anyway and that it needed to be done. Cordell arrived at FFPD's warehouse. Cordell gets out of his truck with his hands up. FFPD's guards take Cordell to FFPD's room. FFPD is yelling at Bbpd for not shooting the officer sooner. The officers wait for FFPD to stop speaking, then tell him Cordell was caught outside of FFPD's warehouse. FFPD pulled out a gun from under his throne and shot Cordell in the leg. Bbpd asked FFPD if he could finish him off and FFPD yelled at Bbpd that he would do it. FFPD stood up with a knife and started walking towards Cordell on the ground bleeding. FFPD stood over Cordell with a knife to his throat. Bbpd, thinking of all the hatred FFPD showed him, shot FFPD in the back of the head. Bbpd started hearing gunshots in the main part of now Bbpd's warehouse. Bbpd looked out of the room to see Michael and Swanston shooting guards. Bbpd got his best guard, Nate. Bbpd and Nate started shooting at Michael and Swanston. Swanston ran to cover and ended up in the same column as Nate fired several rounds at Swanston, but he was in cover. Swanston got up from under cover and shot Nate in the chest. Swanston reloaded and got back up to finish Nate off. As soon as Swanston rose from cover, Nate shot him in the head, killing him. Michael ran over to check on Swanston to see him dead. Nate was standing there shooting at him and Michael got into cover. Michael turned the corner and Nate was on his knees dying from the shot in his chest. Michael aimed his gun and shot Nate in the head. Bbpd, realizing he had a good chance of death, escaped through the back of his warehouse. Michael ran to Cordell and took him in his car. They rushed to the hospital, Cordell bleeding fast. Michael was able to get him in on time, but the doctor said that his chances of living are slim. The end.